This is Miguel coming from Miami, Florida. Well, this is what I'm talking about. Is this when my sister has saw this about the GMOs, genetically, I'm just call it genetically modified garbage, right? I think free trade is supposed to be for fair trade, for people selling their products, not to overpass the agricultural part. You're screwing the nation's agriculture. You're messing up something, and this is most important for GMOs. If I focus this, JAFTA, as my idea has never been. It was a good idea, but the consequences with JAFTA. Then I looked to the FTA with Colombia situation. Well, this thing is a worldwide epidemic. Worldwide epidemic. You have these companies that create chemical weapons, and biological weapons are the same companies that create the GMOs. Dow, Syngenta, DuPont, and the main one that makes a lot of profit for all this stuff is Monsanto. These companies has to be taken in Hague before any free trade agreements will be settled. Even JAFTA, it happened in NAFTA. That kind of thing about these companies, even include Monsanto, they have bought out crops or infected crops that is contaminated from this genetically modified food, this genetically modified organisms, genetically modified garbage has been put out in Canada and Mexico. With this case, with this guy and with the canola, with the canola plants, and then he wanted to fight the case against Monsanto, and boom, he just won the case against them. Mexico, on the other hand, what are the corn? Corn crops from Monsanto. What it is genetically modified food. You have put food against pesticides or insecticides, and they absorb it. They give you a bunch of cancers and all this stuff, and this is why the reason all the protests will be done against Monsanto and everything all over the world. All over the world keep protesting, but we need to take this. We're gonna take this to Holland. What we're gonna take this to Holland is the governments of all these countries in the world, including the United States, Canada, Mexico, Japan, Europe, and all these different countries that are going to fight against Monsanto. We're gonna take this thing to court. Is the thing about JAFTA, and I don't like to hurt the people. Actually, I know a chick that blocked me, but I love her folks or people from Japan in general, and I love their people because I know they suffer. They're very kind, very generous. I know I've been to a festival, not in this country, but another one in Canada. I'm just saying. This is why I'm wearing an I Love New York shirt. They have the same thing over there in New York, like Japan Day or Japan Week and stuff. Well, this is a concern to fight all the community. Even saw videos, and I even knew about the world according to Monsanto. Monsanto has ordered to use. I think Monsanto was involved with the HARP. With the HARP that has happened around 2011, March 11th of 2011, Monsanto has ordered to use a harp on one particular country, and then this JAFTA thing, if it's approved, then I wonder what these people will do about the harp in JAFTA and JAFTA. And if JAFTA was done earlier, and then this harp thing wouldn't happen. You know, it is involved with the harp because I think Monsanto was involved in this thing, and companies like that also, because they wanted to say to use genetically modified food. If they want to use their genetically modified garbage, so look at all the health risks would happen. Colombia, for instance, with the FTA with Colombia, the free trade with Colombia, they throw away rice crops. You know, the rice crops that these people work so hard, their blood and sweat and tears are thrown away in favor of their genetically modified garbage. Yes, they are in favor of their genetically modified garbage. One reason to tell you that they are in favor of their genetically modified garbage is because Monsanto, if they want to butt in, even though with every free trade agreement available, is they want to say use our stuff, use our genetically modified garbage. Your stuff is garbage. No, they're working sweat and tears, you know, blood and sweat, you know, put it on their piss, blood, sweat, whatever. They working our asses off for planting these crops. You know, if even though here they're doing the same thing, but Monsanto has been ruining American lives since day one. Well, now this is more likely that we need to take this to Hague. Hague, in regarding to all the videos, Agent Orange, biological warfare, chemical warfare, and all this stuff, all has been done by Monsanto and companies related like that use similar products that harm us. You know, insecticides or herbicides that could kill us, give us cancers and stuff. You know, these things that I think we're gonna take this to Hague. All these videos and all these bunch of stuff, Agent Orange in Okinawa and all this, all is gonna be related to Monsanto. And besides it, not just Monsanto, but other companies involved with this kind of stuff. These biological companies like Monsanto are put to the test and put to justice at the International Court of Justice in Hague, Holland. One thing I'll tell you, in Hague, Holland, you know, each country will sign in. US, Japan, the UK, Canada. Which other countries are going to sign in? The Hague Food Act. All the European countries and everybody, all these countries around the world and every single continent will have to sign the Hague Food Act. With the Hague Food Act, it avoids Monsanto not to take over their own crops and let these guys have their hard-earned work and their hard-earned cash doing these crops, because it makes more money to do it naturally or organic. I might say that we have to stop this organic and GMO stuff with the Hague Food Act. The Hague Food Act, it is taking a Hague. Every country in the world sees this, what Monsanto is doing, and companies similar to Monsanto that doing the same thing. The chemical warfares, the biological warfare, all this, in each country that has involved with their puppets, because Monsanto and these companies have puppets working in their government. They have to be punished. Them. You punish these punks. You punish these fools. You know, these fools are going to jail. Monsanto is going to be sued. No one is going to use pesticides or insecticides or any of this junk that Monsanto and companies related like that do that stuff to their crops. They ain't gonna take over people's crops. It is taking away their businesses. It is bad business. You know, wheat is bad. You know, modified wheat is bad business. That's why in Japan they ban wheat from Monsanto. And when we do that, and when the whole world ban all that stuff with the Hague Food Act, now everybody's gonna live in a safer place, and we're gonna eat the food safe from genetically modified, you know, junk. We're gonna save ourselves from eating genetically modified garbage, because they ain't gonna use Monsanto and all these punks that make all this crap and make weapons and all stuff are going to be banned all over the world, because the Hague Food Act has protected us. So I know this could sound crazy if we could take Monsanto to Hague, all different countries all over the world, the US, Japan, Mexico, Canada, you name it, all over the world, from Asia to Africa. Yeah, that it is, from Miami to Milan, from New York to Tokyo. We're gonna take Monsanto at the ICJ at Hague, and companies that do the same thing as Monsanto to show what they're doing at Hague. And then with the Hague Food Act, Monsanto and all these punks are going to get screwed. So you could protest all you want, but forever at all, you could go to the website, you could write them a letter, you know, send them an email, you know, put them in the postal service, and also write a petition to the International Court of Hague, International Court of Justice in Hague, so we could take Monsanto to court and companies related to court to Hague, and then Monsanto and all these companies related to Monsanto are going to be guilty, and they're going to lose because of the Hague Food Act. So peace out, write me a comment, and I know what's going it is. Before we do any free trade agreement with any country, before JAFTA, we could go to Hague, blame Monsanto for all this crap, and then after we done that with Hague, then Colombian will not fight genetically modified garbage. Japan will be safe because of the Hague Food Act, because Monsanto will not go into ruin Japan, because Monsanto is the next Hiroshima, and take the hard-working Japanese people, their crops, in favor of the Monsanto's genetically modified garbage. So that way, that Hague Food Act, you know, it protect the Japanese farmers, and it protect the farmers not just from Japan, but from Colombia, from the US, from Canada, Mexico, and all these farmers from all over the world to be protected from this junk, from this genetically modified garbage that Monsanto and companies that do the same thing as Monsanto to stop that, have a black, and let them be guilty for killing us. Goodbye and peace out.